In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I scored over $30,000 in free travel last year using just two powerful strategies with credit cards. One method is simple enough to start using right away, while the other takes a bit more effort, but it's absolutely worth it to unlock luxury vacations, flights, and hotels without breaking the bank. Most people miss out on these rewards because they don't know how to use credit cards the right way, leaving thousands of dollars in free travel on the table. I'll break down the exact strategies I use and show you how to avoid the common mistakes that stop you from maximizing your points. By the end of this video, you'll know how to use credit cards the right way to unlock thousands of dollars in free travel. Let's kick things off with one of the simplest yet most effective strategies, using your credit card's benefits and credits. At first glance, this might seem like an easy thing to do, but there's actually a bit of strategy involved. The first and most crucial rule when using credit cards is to make sure they align with your lifestyle. You should never have to change your spending habits or force yourself to shop at certain places just to make a credit card worthwhile. A credit card should complement your existing behavior, not dictate it. Take the Amex Gold, for example. It offers credits for services like Uber, Dunkin' Donuts, Resi restaurants, and a limited selection of other merchants. If you're someone who already uses those services regularly, this card could be a great fit. You're essentially getting rewarded for purchases you would have made anyway. But let's say you live in a rural or suburban area where Uber isn't common, or maybe you don't dine out frequently at Resi partnered restaurants. In that case, these credits might go to waste and the card won't deliver as much value to you. It's crucial to recognize that credit cards are not one size fits all. With that said, last year, I used two specific credit cards to help get me thousands of dollars worth of value, easily offsetting their annual fees. However, what worked for me might not work for you. The first card I used to maximize value last year was the Amex Hilton Aspire card. Before this card got updated in October of 2023, it had a $450 annual fee, which might sound steep, but I was able to easily cover that fee and then some by using a few key perks. One of the standout benefits for me was the $250 airline fee credit. Since I traveled frequently last year, this credit came in handy for those unavoidable costs like checked bag fees and seat assignments. If you're someone who flies often, these small charges can really add up, but using the credit allows you to keep more money in your pocket. Another major perk was the $250 Hilton Resort credit. I used this to book 2 nights at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Waikiki. This credit applies specifically to Hilton resorts. So if you're someone who enjoys resort vacations, it can be an easy way to offset the card's annual fee. However, if you rarely stay at resorts, this might not hold the same value for you. The biggest win for me on the Aspire credit card is the annual free night certificate. This benefit alone is a game changer as it grants a free night at nearly any Hilton property worldwide, including some of their most luxurious locations. Last year, I used my certificate for a night at the Waldorf Astoria in Las Vegas, where rooms were going for around $400 at the time. With just this one night, I nearly matched the card's annual fee, but it didn't stop there. The icing on the cake for me was Hilton Diamond status, which is automatically included with the Aspire card. If you've ever stayed at a Hilton property, you know that having elite status can make a difference. During my stays at both the Hilton Hawaiian Village and Waldorf Astoria, Diamond status got me upgraded rooms, which alone would have cost me a premium. Plus, I received complimentary breakfast for myself and a guest each day, another perk that saved me well over $100 across both stays. The early check-in and late checkout options were also huge, especially for allowing me to maximize my time in the hotel without feeling rushed. Altogether, these benefits, the airline fee credits, resort credits, free night, and elite status brought me well over $1,000 in value last year, more than doubling the cost of the annual fee of the Hilton Aspire card. But as I always emphasize, this card won't be the right fit for everyone. If you don't plan on staying at Hilton properties at least once a year, or if you can't take advantage of the airline and resort credits, the Aspire card might not deliver the same value for you. The Hilton Aspire card was a major win, but last year, I also relied on another card that offered additional perks and benefits, maximizing my rewards even further. That card is the Amex Platinum. Last year, I took advantage of 5 major benefits from the Amex Platinum card, which gave me hundreds of dollars in additional value. The first major benefit was lounge access. During my travels, I visited either a Priority Pass or a Centurion Lounge 5 times throughout 2023. Both of those lounges I have access to with the Amex Platinum. These lounges provided free food, drinks, and most importantly, a quiet place to relax. While the value of each lounge visit can vary, I conservatively estimate each one at $10 per visit, meaning I got about $50 of value from this benefit alone. The second and third benefits are related, and I use them on the same trip. They were the $200 hotel credits and the Fine Hotels and Resorts, or FHR, benefits. I booked a one-night stay at the Four Seasons in Las Vegas through the Amex FHR portal. This allowed me to use the $200 hotel credit toward the room rate, and I also enjoyed additional perks from the FHR program, like early check-in, late checkout, free breakfast for up to 2 people, and a $100 property credit, which I spent on food and drinks during my stay. A helpful tip for maximizing FHR benefits is to use them on shorter stays if you can, as the property credit is given to you per stay, not per day. So it's easier or better to use $100 for 1 night or 2 nights as opposed to $100 spread across 4 nights or 5 nights. Although the food credit is awarded for each night you stay. That one night at the Four Seasons cost me $765, but after applying the $200 hotel credits, $100 property credits, and $60 food credit, the effective cost came down to $405, which is much more reasonable. And if you're wondering, I liked my stay at the Waldorf Astoria more than the stay at the Four Seasons. The Waldorf was more modern, the rooms looked better, especially the bathroom, and the Waldorf is in the middle of the strip, which makes it a convenient place to stay. I want to mention, if you're interested in cards like these that could elevate your travel experiences, go ahead and check out the affiliate links down below, which will help support my channel. The fourth benefits I used was Amex Offers. This isn't a benefit exclusive to the Platinum card, although it is only for Amex credit card holders. I activated an Expedia deal through my Platinum card, which gave me 10% back on Expedia purchases for up to $100 total back. I used this offer while booking hotels in Japan, and I received a full $100 back in savings. Finally, the last major benefit I took advantage of was the $200 airline fee credits, which I used throughout the year for flight-related purchases. If you're keeping track, using just these benefits from my 2 cards, I received roughly $1,700 in value for free travel last year. But that still doesn't account for the total of $30,000 in travel value that I accumulated. So where did the rest of that come from? A large portion of my free travel last year came from my second key strategy, redeeming credit card points. Out of the dozen or so flights I took in 2023, 5 of them really stood out because they provided me with thousands of dollars in value. One highlight was flying business class on ANA's Flying Honu, a Hawaii-themed Airbus A380 double-decker plane that exclusively flies between Japan and Hawaii. At the time, the cash price for this flight was a staggering $11,000. There was no way I was paying that out of pocket, so I turned to my credit card points to make it happen. I transferred my Chase points to Virgin Atlantic and used those points to book the ANA flight. Thanks to a 30% Chase transfer bonus, I only needed 27,000 Chase points to get 35,000 Virgin Atlantic miles, which was enough to cover the one-way flights from Hawaii to Japan. Even though I had to pay $135 in taxes and fees, it was a small price compared to the $11,000 ticket cost, making this an incredible redemption. While flight prices do fluctuate, getting over 40 cents per point value from this specific redemption was an extreme outlier, although it's still a win that I'm proud of. Flying business class also gave me access to ANA's lounge in Honolulu, one of the nicest lounges at the airport. Again, I'm not sure how much value you want to put onto that, so let's just say $10 or $20. However, since this was a one-way ticket, I needed to book my return flight separately. The key to booking award flights like this is flexibility. You either need to book a year in advance or within 14 days of the departure date. Finding availability outside of that window is going to be tough. My strategy was to check the ANA and United websites daily to see if any ANA business class seats became available to be used with points. Once I found an opening, I immediately called Virgin Atlantic to confirm, and I transferred my points to book the flight. For the return flights from Japan back to Hawaii, I once again flew on the Flying Honu, paying the same 27,000 Chase points transferred to 35,000 24,000 Virgin Atlantic miles, and I paid nearly $200 in taxes and fees. This time, the cash price for this flight was a more realistic $4,500, but I still got incredible value from the points, which was around 16 cents per point. And I was able to access ANA's lounge in the Narita airport, which is also a very nice lounge to spend time in. Small correction, I actually used 3 credit cards in total. I have to include the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which allowed me to transfer my Chase points to a travel transfer partner. While those were solid redemptions in terms of cents per point value, the flight I'm most proud of came just a month later in November. There's one ANA business class product I had always wanted to try, and last year I finally got the chance, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. The flight I wanted departed from Chicago, which meant I had to book a positioning flight from Los Angeles to Chicago just to catch my ANA flight to Japan. If you're flying with family, this might not be the most convenient option, but since I was traveling alone, I felt it was well worth the effort. To make it happen, I transferred 12,500 Amex points to Aeroplan and booked an Air Canada flight from LAX to Chicago. However, the downside was that it was a red-eye flight and I had checked luggage. When I landed in Chicago at 3 a.m. in the morning, I had to collect my bag and then wait outside the check-in gate for 3 hours or so until it finally opened. It was a bit of a hassle, but I knew it would all be worth it because I was about to experience ANA's highly sought after The Room business class seat. The Room is only available on select routes from the US to Japan and features an enormous seat that fully reclines into a bed, complete with a door for added privacy. As the name suggests, it really does feel like your own room on the plane. Before boarding, I was able to enjoy the United Polaris Lounge at Chicago O'Hare, which is one of the nicest lounges I've been to, complete with showers and great food. For this business class flight, I transferred 47,500 Amex points into Virgin Atlantic miles and paid around $200 in taxes and fees. At the time, the cash price for the seats was $8,000, giving me an outstanding 16 cents per point value. Although I couldn't find another The Room seats for my return flight to LAX, I managed to book a standard ANA business class seat, and there was also a pleasant surprise waiting for me when I boarded. To book my return flight home, I kept checking the ANA and United websites once again every day during my time in Japan, hoping to find award availability. Eventually, I was able to secure what seemed like a standard business class flight for 45,000 Amex points transferred to Virgin Atlantic miles and $264 in taxes and fees. The cash price for this flight was $6,600, giving me a strong 14 cents per point value. This time, I had access to ANA's lounge at Haneda Airport, which, like other international lounges, was top-notch and far better than the domestic airline lounges that I've been to. It wasn't until I boarded the plane that I realized I'd stumbled upon something special. I was on ANA's limited edition Star Wars R2-D2 flights, similar to the themed Flying Honu plane, but in my opinion, it was even better. As a Star Wars fan growing up, this was an incredible surprise. The flight was packed with themed experiences, automated in-flight announcements made by C-3PO and R2-D2, a large Yoda plush you could take pictures with, a Star Wars themed light show, and souvenir boarding pass cards. It was a fantastic experience, and I'm lucky to have landed on the flights literally by chance. In total last year, I spent 54,000 Chase points and 92,500 Amex points and about $800 in taxes and fees to score $30,000 worth of business class flights, all thanks to credit card rewards. And if you're interested in learning how to get amazing redemptions like these on ANA flights, check out one of these videos here where I tell you exactly how I did it myself. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shoots.